Yeah, hi there guys. Just wanted to bring this information to you. It was put out by Starscream 144. He has found something very interesting on his camera, or on the photographs taken with his kick-ass camera. I won't show you what he's found here because you probably really need to go through the entire video to understand just why we probably aren't seeing what is up there. There is definitely something up there. There is no doubt in my mind that we may even have multiple things up there. And we also have to understand that these things may not be working to the laws according to our scientists and astronomy and astrophysicists and all of the other people that get out their calculations and say, well, this must be how it orbits because this is the way that we would calculate it would orbit. They really don't know. Nobody's been alive here since the last time this happened on our planet. So really the only people you want to be listening to are the ancient wisdom keepers. Okay, I've heard a couple of videos from some very knowledgeable people that I definitely respect for the amount of knowledge that they do have in some areas, but I also am a little bit worried that this person is telling people areas which he feels are dangerous and where they should all go, because quite frankly folks, nobody knows where the hell is safe and where is not safe. There's only a few things that you can probably think about when you're looking for a safe area. One, is it an old area, meaning are there old growth rainforests? Are there old growth areas in, with lots of large, very large trees that have survived for, perhaps, hundreds and hundreds of years. Some trees are known to even be older than that. So that's one thing you want to look at. If there's a lot of old growth forest, you know that that area remains relatively unchanged. Two, are there any ancient monuments that have been there for thousands of years? Yes. Okay. Some places like the UK have many, many ancient monuments. Stonehenge is one that I can think of that probably has been there for 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 years. Okay. So that's another thing you want to look at. Three, now the ancient wisdom keepers all show us in their rock glyphs that when you see the spirals, you move up high. So that's another thing you want to do. You want to move up to high ground. Okay. The rest of what these people are putting out, I very much think is helpful. But I don't think it's helpful that, you start telling people where they should be evacuating to, because I think you go down a very slippery slope once you start becoming an expert. You really don't remove yourself from the so-called experts that already got us into this trouble, and the reason why we're going to be blindsided by this because all the ancient knowledge, the sacred texts, have been destroyed or removed, and we're not allowed to basically prepare for this as they probably would have done many, many eons ago. And it's also interesting to note that the Mayans every 52 years would run to the top of a mountain. It was a huge ceremony they would have, and then they would watch the constellation of Pleiades to see if it rose to where it should, and if it did, it meant that there was no coming cataclysm from the sky, and then they could celebrate another 52 years. Now, folks, seriously, the ancients did not pay such close attention to the stars for no reason, okay? It wasn't myth. Forget the hearsay or the heresy, okay? Look at the word heresy, okay? It's hearsay, okay? The church has made that mean heresy is against God, okay? No. So what they're saying is that everybody that was an ancient wisdom keeper that had wisdom was hearsay, and only the church had the knowledge. The church is lying, okay? It's not true what the church is saying. Okay, they've got an agenda. The only people you can possibly believe are the ancient wisdom keepers. That's just my personal belief, because they didn't have an agenda. And I know some people are going to say, well, there's parts of the Bible, and I understand that, but I cannot take the Bible anymore because it's been corrupted. So I don't know what the original texts were. So I'm not willing to place all of my trust into something that could have easily been corrupted over the years, and it has been. We all know that the Bible's been rewritten, 4 or 5 times. I can't even remember. I don't pay attention to that because I just know that even if it was rewritten once, then it doesn't matter. And I'm not talking being translated, okay? I'm not talking about that. That's completely different. I'm talking people rewriting the text and putting their own perspective on things. I mean, that's something that's going to corrupt any information, and personally for myself I do not follow that because of that, even though I find that there are definitely parts in the Bible that really resonate to this time and you can't ignore that. I'm just not willing to put my faith into anything that has been corrupted or there's possibly an agenda. So to me, I look at the ancients. What did the ancients say? And I'm telling you, the ancients looked at the stars, they looked at the skies, they watched them intently because they knew these things happened. And you know, forget about the distractions, guys. It's all ramping up. Can you feel the energy changing? Seriously, can you feel the energy changing? Can you feel the information changing? Okay, look at suddenly what keeps coming up across your radar. Things are changing, guys. Okay, be aware of that. The energy is changing again. Okay, we're coming into a different basically a different energy. I really can't think of any other word to call it but that, okay? And I don't know quite how to explain it in any other way, and I don't know why that is, but I can feel that the things are changing. We're finding out a lot of disinformation, and I'm not talking about, you know, HARP or anything that, you know, that's not what I'm talking about, okay? When I'm saying disinformation, I'm talking about disinformation in areas that we had thought was solid, okay? People that we had thought were solid are turning out to not be that way. Things that we had thought was solid are not turning out to be that way. Everything's once again on that slippery slope and we can't quite grasp where it's all going. So all we've got to know is that we can just remain centered and at peace through these times when the energy starts getting really intense, and it's going to start intensifying. There's currently a geomagnetic storm. We've already had a C-class flare within the last 12 hours. So this is going to correlate to everything on the planet, including us, okay? We are matter, we are beings of energy as well. So we need to understand that that's also something we need to be mindful of, that when the sun affects the planet, it affects us. And this is the reason that certain things start happening in the way they do. And we just need to be mindful to stay in our own truth. And that's all you ever have to do, is just stay in your own truth. You know, and never just hang on to the words of anyone, not even mine. You know, always use discernment. And this is what I'm saying. There are people out here at the moment that have very good intentions and wonderful giving spirit, but they've got to be careful that they're not over intellectualizing this situation, because it's something that has not occurred while any of us have been alive. So therefore everything that we think may happen may be completely different. Okay, now once again I'm going to link the Hopi blue Kachina, red Kachina prophecy under the link next to Starscream's video, because I'll link this video of Starscream straight under my video here. Then I'm going to link the Hopi prophecy as well, because I really want everyone to revisit the Hopi prophecy and look into it. And the first paragraph, paragraph basically about, the Kachina dancing in the plaza and removing the mask. Okay, we need to understand that perhaps what we think is coming towards us may already be here, and that's a distraction. Okay, there are things maybe coming towards us, and I can pretty much tell you that there are, okay, but maybe the thing that is causing all the problem is already here, and the reason that our eyes are not on it is because we're looking in other areas for these comets that are coming, that we keep getting told about, we keep getting fed. Okay, so we need to understand that all is not what it seems at the moment, and once again we need to use discernment and just stay at peace and stay in the heart and just, connect in, because once you're connected you can't go down the wrong path. You will find where you are meant to be at the time you are meant to be there. So anyway, I'll leave it here, guys. Thank you very much, Starscream 144. You are a legend, and good catch, mate. Keep going. Keep that camera to the sky. Let's see what else we can catch. This is fantastic. Very exciting days ahead. All right, guys, I'll leave it here. Thanks for listening. See ya.